The story of two neighbors. Let me tell you something real, my friend. Imagine you have two neighbors in the same apartment building. Same neighborhood, same rent, even nearly similar lives. But there's a tremendous difference between them. Your first neighbor earns $95,000 a year. What do you see when their door opens? A giant wall-mounted television. An outrageously expensive leather sofa set. Kitchen appliances still in their boxes. Brand new clothes in the closet with tags still attached. Don't even get me started on the guest room. It's like a storage unit. You can barely get inside. Your second neighbor earns $52,000. That's almost half as much. What do you see when their door opens? A simple living room. A small but adequate television. Kitchen appliances that are actually used. Clothes in the closet that are actually worn. A decent guest room. This person checks their phone when their paycheck arrives each month and takes a deep breath of relief. They've saved up 18 months' worth of expenses. Every month, they put 1/5 of their salary into investments. Hold on a second. The person who earns less is financially 10 times more secure than the one who earns more. How is that possible? Let me tell you the secret behind all of this. Everything costs money twice. Look, the vast majority of people only look at the price tag when buying something. $500. Fine, I'll take it, done. But here's the truth. Everything has two prices. The first price is what you pay at the register. The second, not many people calculate that one. The second price includes, where are you going to put it? How much will maintenance cost? How much of your mental space will it occupy? And what would have happened if you'd invested that money instead? Let me give you a concrete example. Say you bought a treadmill for $15,000. But that treadmill takes up space in your home. That space is part of your monthly rent. If you live in the city center, you're paying serious money per square meter per year. If the treadmill takes up 4 to 5 square meters, you might be spending $2,000 to $3,000 a year just to house it. There's also this, every time you see that treadmill, something happens inside you. I should have run today, but I didn't. That small sense of guilt accumulates. Your mind gets worn down. And if you had invested that $15,000, what would have happened in 15 years? So in reality, you paid $15,000 for a treadmill, but that treadmill ended up costing you far more. Rule 1. Calculate cost per use. Now let me share a very simple but life-changing method of accounting. Before buying something, ask yourself this: how many times will I actually use this? Then divide the price by that number. A $300 kitchen appliance that you use twice a year costs $150 per use. That's absurd. But a $2,000 mattress that you sleep on every night for 10 years? You're using it every night. That's 55 cents per use. That's a smart purchase. A calculator disables your emotions. Because it cuts off excuses like, but it was so nice, it was on sale. Rule 2. Would you replace it if it disappeared? Walk around your home one day. Look at each item and ask yourself, if this disappeared tomorrow, would I go out and buy a new one? But be honest. Would you pay for that pot set? That bread maker? Those clothes you haven't worn in 18 months? If the answer is no, then that item shouldn't be in your life. It's just sitting there taking up space, draining you for no reason. When you get rid of these things, something strange happens. At first you feel weird. Then you feel incredibly lighter. Rule 3. Don't upgrade just because you're bored. Does your phone work? Don't replace it. Does your car get you around? Don't replace it. Is your couch comfortable? Don't replace it. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But most people do exactly this. They replace their phones every 2 to 3 years while the previous phone still works perfectly. If you calculate this cycle over 30 years, $30,000 to $50,000 goes toward unnecessary phone spending alone. Phone, car, clothes, furniture. Spread this renewal culture across all categories and $200,000 quietly evaporates over a lifetime. Unless something genuinely stops functioning, you don't need to replace it. Seeing your neighbor buy a new car doesn't count as it stopped functioning. You know that, don't you? Rule 4. Build a system. Don't trust your willpower. Let me tell you a harsh truth. Willpower runs out. In the morning you say, I won't make any unnecessary purchases today. In the evening, tired and stressed, you're scrolling on your phone, you see something, and you click. This isn't your weakness. This is how the human brain works. That's why smart people build systems instead of trusting willpower. In practical terms, what does this mean? Delete your credit card information from shopping sites entirely. Don't install shopping apps on your phone. Set a rule for yourself. Wait 24 hours before any major purchase. When your paycheck comes, transfer to your investment account first, then spend whatever is left. These small barriers create miracles. Research shows that 70% of impulse buying urges disappear on their own if you wait 24 hours. Think about that for a moment. Rule 5. Count. How many shirts do you own? Go on, guess. Now go count. In all likelihood, the real number will be double your estimate. The act of counting changes you. When you know, I have 47 shirts, buying the 48th feels very different. Isn't there something strange about that? Set limits for yourself. 30 clothing items, 15 books, a one in, one out rule. These limits don't restrict your life. On the contrary, they liberate it. Rule 6. Rent first, then buy. You want to go camping? Great. Don't rush to the store to buy a tent, sleeping bag, mat, and lantern. Rent first. Try it. If you love it, buy it. If you don't, you've only lost around $200, but you've saved yourself from a burden that would take up space for years. Photography, mountaineering, woodworking, music. There's a graveyard of abandoned hobbies sitting in basements and storage units. Thousands of dollars, untouched. Test first. Then decide. Rule 7. When buying something, think about the ecosystem. Say you want to buy a boat. Great. But a boat doesn't come alone. You'll need a trailer. You'll need a vehicle to tow it. There's storage fees. There's insurance. There's maintenance. Every year, 10% of the boat's value goes to maintenance alone, even if you never use it. A $30,000 boat actually costs you an additional $3,000 a year out of your pocket. Before any major purchase, ask, how much does the ecosystem of this thing cost? Usually, when you see the real number, the decision changes. Rule 8. Define your enough point. Do you know the trap that high-income people fall into? They never define their enough point. Salary goes up, spending goes up. Bigger house, better car, more expensive vacation. It becomes the new normal. A new raise comes, new expenses follow. Someone earning $300,000 can experience as much financial stress as someone earning $80,000. Because expectations grew along with income. Here's what I'd suggest. Right now, today, sit down and write. What house is enough for me? What car is enough? How many clothes are enough? Write these down on paper. And decide not to cross that line. Even if your income grows, don't grow your lifestyle. Grow your savings. If you earn $150,000 and can live a $60,000 life, the difference turns into freedom. Every year. Every time. Rule 9. Measure wealth with options, not objects. True wealth is not big houses, luxury cars, or the latest phones. True wealth is being able to quit your job if it's destroying your health, being able to take months off to spend time with your family, being able to move to the city you want, being able to take risks, being able to be free before the age of 65, and being able to work for meaning rather than money. All of these point to one thing: having options. And options only emerge when there is a serious gap between what you earn and what you spend. Someone who earns $200,000 and spends $195,000 is not free. They're just carrying the weight of an expensive life. On the other hand, someone who earns $80,000 and spends $45,000 is truly free, because they can say no to things they don't want. Remember, every purchase is a trade. Either you get an object, or you give up your options. Rule 10. Regular small cleanouts beat big crises. Many people who try minimalism do one big purge first, experience brief relief, then gradually return to old habits, and within a few years, they're back to square one. Instead, building a small but sustainable system is far more effective. Looking at what comes into the home every week, focusing on a specific category every month, and doing a general assessment every quarter yields much better results. Getting rid of a few items per week is easy and manageable, while trying to reduce hundreds of things all at once is usually postponed and becomes overwhelming. Here's a simple method to get started. This week, walk around your home and ask yourself, would I buy this again if it disappeared? Identify 10 items, sell, donate, or remove them. This month, wait 24 hours before every non-essential purchase and observe whether it still makes sense afterward. This quarter, count your clothes, kitchen items, and books. The numbers alone tend to create awareness. This year, write down in concrete terms where your enough point is. In the end, the issue isn't income, it's clarity. People who earn less and live peacefully haven't discovered some secret. They simply know what truly matters. And deep down, you know it too. The question is this: do you want to own things, or will you let things own you? Both the math and the peace of mind point toward the first choice.